The audio and all other media materials aired on this broadcast station does not necessarily reflect the opinion of the management of Rhema Word Broadcasting, Rhema Gospel Radio Incorporated, KOER LP-FM, its affiliates, and or the staff and volunteers of these entities. Please direct all correspondence to the appropriate company's website and or business address.
Blessings.
Thank you for tuning in to the Breaking the Chains radio broadcast with Dr. Yolanda Sherman. We pray this broadcast will empower you to walk in your God-given purpose. Today. Now, let's join Dr.
Family.
Yolanda Sherman for today's message.
Blessings, blessings, blessings. Blessings on today. Blessings. Blessings, blessings on today. Hello, 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 hello. Hello. Greetings, 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 greetings on today. Greetings on today. Greetings on today. I am so excited that y'all tuned in for today's broadcast. Oh my God. It is real life with real life conversations, and I'm so excited about the real life conversations on today. Thank y'all for tuning in. Listen, it's going to be a great day. I know people are experiencing so many things, and things are going on, and things are going on. People are dealing with things in everyday life. The other day, I was sitting in my car and I was just kind of meditating. And I was meditating to the point that it's literally like I seen people, they were hurting, they were going through things. And I just began to weep about people hurting and going through things. And today I was at work. It's something truly, truly amazing, is because one of my coworkers, it's like I had sensed that she was going through something, and I looked at her, and I mean, she didn't say anything or anything like that, and I said, "You're hurting." And she just looked at me and she was like, "How did you know I didn't say anything?" You know, we have to get to a point that we are sensitive to others and their needs. And you know, right now with so much that is going on, people are hurting bad, on the verge of suicide, on the verge of giving up. You understand what I'm saying? And they need to know that somebody cares. They need to know that, you know, they can share with us or confide in us or talk to us or even seek counseling or the necessary help that they need, you know, to be able to get through or process what is going on in their life. And we need to get to a point that we avail ourselves to be there and help one another. Listen, we're never alone. We're never alone. We're never by ourselves. There is always somebody who can be a blessing and who can be a help and be strength to one another. And so, like I said, I was sitting in my car, and always, blessings, always sit in my car. And that's like one of my favorite places. I like to sit in my car and I'll put my worship music on and I'll, you know, talk with the Father, and I meditate and worship. And, you know, I do that when I come home from work or when I come from anywhere. Good evening to all the listeners. Good evening. I am so glad that you are tuning in tonight. Family, my sisters, my brothers, my friends, my family. It is such a blessing that you tuned in. And I want to talk about, like I say, people are hurting out there. So I'm sitting in my car, and that it just hit me. It hit me in my car, and I began to look up to the sky. And I started like typing, and then next thing you know, I end up, going Facebook Live, sharing what was in my heart and what I was sensing. Listen, family, in this time, we have to be sensitive, okay? We have to spend time with the Father and listen. Everybody has something that the Father wants them to do to help somebody else. It's never about us. If you went through something in your life and the Father helped you get through it, what better way, are you hearing me, to be a blessing and help somebody else go through their process? And I was at work today. Same thing happened. One of my coworkers, I won't reveal her name because of privacy, and she trusts the God that I serve. And I looked at her, and she never said anything, and she was smiling all day long. And I was going to get something to drink, some tea, for my voice for tonight, because my voice started getting hoarse. And so I looked at her and I said, "You're hurting." And she looked at me and she said, "How did you know? I never said anything to you." And I began to share with her what happened to me on yesterday. I was sitting in my car and I was worshiping the Father. And it's like I could feel the weight of people hurting. That happened again today. Let me tell you something. We need to be sensitive to each other. You don't know who needs you. You don't know who's looking at your life. You don't know who's gleaming from you. You don't know who's watching the God that you serve. Are you hearing me? This is not the time to get out of position. Hello, somebody, with the Father, that you cannot adhere to his voice, his audible voice speaking to you and giving you instructions. And when you obey the Father, there will be evidence that you've been in his presence. Signs, wonders, and miracles shall happen. A sign will come forth to let you know you heard from God clearly. I tell people all the time about a clean heart and clean hands. Now, we can be deep all day long. All of us can be deep. But the reality is, when somebody's about to commit suicide, what are we going to do? Are we going to stay in the deep places? Are we going to ask God to transition us in a natural way, but perform something supernatural that would touch that person's life to not kill themselves? Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? What about the soul of another? Do you not think for one moment that somebody needs you? They need your purpose. Real talk. This real talk tonight. Real talk. They need what God has placed on the inside of you to activate something in their spirit man so that they can live. Are you hearing me? I'm a counselor. People come broken all the time. Now, can I get my deep theologian side? Yes. But if you got somebody and it's a 911 and they don't know Jesus, you know him, I know him, but they don't know him. All they know is that they are in a crisis. This is a real life situation that's happening. How are we going to reach them? How are they going to know how to come out of a crisis? Do you think they understand? No, they don't. They don't understand that. Because there was a time in my life when I heard it and I thought the people was crazy. Until the Holy Spirit fell upon me. So, there was a time when I didn't know any scriptures. Hello. And I had real life situations happening. I'm not the only one. I know some of you watching this video right now, you may be deep right now. But there was a time you didn't know scriptures either. So how is it that a person is hurting that don't know Jesus? How will they come to him from our deep side if we don't meet them where they are? Are you hearing me? What if they don't know how to pray? You understand what I'm saying? Because there was a time I didn't know how to pray either. I didn't know no scriptures either. But I was going through hell. I knew I was going through something. I knew I was going through a crisis. People are going through stuff and they are literally about to lose their mind. So how are we going to handle them? How are they going to know the God that we serve if we don't show them his love? Somebody had to love me in. They really did. Because I had a lot of resentment on back from my father. I'm just being real. Maybe some of y'all ain't never had, you got this fairy tale life that we read about in the magazine, and, you ain't never suffered no abuse. You ain't never been hungry. You ain't never been molested. You ain't never, Lord have mercy, no gun ever been pulled up to your head. Maybe you have never been to prison. I'm going to come on somebody's street in a minute. I'm talking about hurt people that's going through real life situations. This real talk tonight. This is real talk tonight. So, how are we, and I'm talking about me, going to handle them? See, when Jesus walked the earth and he came, if you want to go Bible and biblical, when Jesus walked the earth, he came down in human form so that he could identify with us. That may not be proper grammar, but deal with us, the sick, the lost, the poor, the brokenhearted. What did he do? He loved us. He healed us. He delivered us. And he set us free. Now, what am I saying? Who are we? How will we deal with the people that are hurting? Not just in the saved world, but the unsaved world. Okay, so let's go to the saved world. Those of us who are believers. Let's go to both sides. Those who know Jesus, but they got a crisis. And I'm going to use my own life because it happened. When I was going through hell in my marriage, going to court with my children, CPS with my granddaughter, harassed on the job, I knew Jesus. But there were some moments in my mental status, I wanted to take my car and run off of a bridge. Shonda, me, the preacher, the prophet. I'm talking about real life circumstances. So how do you deal with that? What if you don't have strength? I'm talking about the believer. What if you don't have strength at that moment? Because there was a time I didn't have strength. The scripture, the Bible, I knew it. But when I was hurting, there were some days I had absolutely no strength. Are you hearing me? I ain't have no strength. And I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I didn't want to hear scripture because that wasn't helping me as a mother hurting for my children. But I did not blame God. I did not turn my back on God. But there were some times that I asked, why? Why is this happening? Why? And I'm a believer. And I still love God. And I know that I'm not the only one. I use my own life because it's a reality that it happened. It's not fictitious. So when Jesus came down here, he came down here for folks like me who didn't have it all together. Y'all can chime in whenever you get ready. He came down for the folks who, didn't quite have it all together. So I want to ask y'all something. Y'all my brothers, y'all in the studio. We talking real talk. Let me interview today. Come on down here. Because I want to ask some real questions. Mm-hmm. Do you mind me starting with you, Stephen? That's real talk, because we talking real talk.
Real talk.
Yeah, real talk, real talk. When you were sleeping in your car and didn't have nowhere to stay, how did you feel in your human... But let me make sure I put this in here. Wasn't you going to church?
I was going to church. I was serving.
Okay.
Didn't nobody know I was homeless.
Okay. Because we're talking real talk. I want to talk to some real folks tonight. How did that affect you emotionally. I mean, what did it do to you? I just want to talk to some real folk.
It was funny because I had this conversation with the guy that I work for, Kendrick, and I was telling him at the time when I was homeless, me and God had a serious talk, and it wasn't one of those talks that you think it is. I told God, I said, God, I served you 7 years. I gave. And I said, it looks like the world is doing better than me.
Wow.
And I told God, I said, God, if this is how this is how you treat your child, I would rather take a chance in the world because I think I can do better without you. And I told God that. And and that was real. It wasn't no plan. I was like, I'm sick and tired. When things go on, you have to challenge it. You can't keep doing the same thing, and think you're going to get different results. You got to challenge it. So when I said that, I promise you, I heard something within myself that said, Stephanie, that's not it.
Wow.
Let me show you who I am.
Wow.
And from then on out, I had to look for principles. There was a time, and it's a guy named Hingston. That's my brother, man. He ended up going out of town. And I was staying at his house. I was homeless. He said, man, you can stay at my house. Staying at his house. It got so bad that I wanted to take my life in his house. And I tell people that I wanted to commit suicide.
Jesus.
It wasn't me being heartbroken. It was deeper than that.
Wow.
I was like, it felt like I lived my life as a lie. And as soon as I was trying to take my life, I said I was going to take it in the guest room because I was sleeping in the guest room.
Wow.
They was going to come back and find me dead in the guest room. And the dog that, when I first came there, we didn't get along. All of a sudden, the dog was following me around the house.
Wow.
And that dog saved my life.
Wow.
I sat on the couch, the dog laid on me. Wow. And I felt God all in that house.
Wow.
And I'm telling y'all, you will go through a situation and you got to count it as a process. And so as I went through this process, it was crazy how I got this word, the process. I got it on my ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend's sister couch. It got that bad. I was sleeping on my ex-girlfriend's ex-boyfriend's sister's couch. That's how bad it got.
That's some deep stuff right there.
I told her I'm gonna bring her up here because this girl didn't have to let me sleep on her couch. She didn't have to feed me. I was her brother's ex-girlfriend's boyfriend sleeping on her couch. And I had this word called the process.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, the pain.
Wow.
I had to go through the pain so I could realign my way of thinking.
Wow.
When I realigned my way of thinking, I started challenging things. I said, what are the principles? Then I overcame my situation. About time I overcame my situation, it's crazy that in the middle of your process, it's a C, criticism. People was criticizing me because they was dealing with me in the pain, but I already got past the pain. I was in the middle of my process getting criticized about everything. Stephen, you ain't serving God. Stephen, you backsliding. You don't know what I'm going through. You don't know what's going on. And this is church people. This wasn't the people in the world. This was people in the church. So I'm like, wait a minute. These are the people that I serve. These are the people that I put before me. These are the people that I bust my butt for. And these people are telling me, Stephanie, you must be backsliding. You need to get it together. They don't know what I was going through. So I'm like, wow, I'm getting hurt by my church family. Then after I went through the criticism, I had to learn that, hey, this criticism is not made for me to backtrack, but it was made for me to elevate. So I started elevating. I started thinking different.
Wow.
I started looking for different things.
Wow.
And then after that, I found out what success means. Because when you get to success, I got to the designated place where I needed to be. Now, the designated place where I needed to be had nothing to do with money. It had everything to do with my mentality. It had everything to do with principle.
Wow.
It had everything to do with marriage. I got to the designated place where God wanted me to be.
Wow.
Now, everything that I get, I'm entitled to. What I ask God for, I'm entitled to.
Jesus.
So when you look at the word righteousness, I'm in the right place at the right time. So God, I can ask you for what I want because He says, son, you in the right place. You are in the place where you need to be, so I can give you everything. And He gave me everything I need to sustain. I'm telling you, ever since I found principles and found laws, I'm just being real. I had to cut off people. I'm telling you, when you find
Real
God
talk.
and when God shows
Real
you to
talk.
go somewhere, there's people that you love in your life. that you will have to sacrifice, that you will have to disconnect yourself from. And it hurts. You don't know why.
Wow.
You have to disconnect yourself
That's
from.
rich.
And these are good people. But they don't know the thoughts that God had for you.
Yeah.
God is like, hey, I got something for you. And if I can't get you to disconnect yourself from them, you won't grow. But I found out he don't disconnect. He don't get you to disconnect yourself from them to stay away from them. He disconnects you from them so you can find the help to bring it back to them, because God is trying to get something to them, but they can't listen because they're so caught in their theology that God can't talk to them. So he got to go to somebody else, disconnect themselves from them, give it to them so he can bring it back to his people, because God's number one mission is to help his people. And so the thing about going through this pain, and it's like, God, why me? Why do I have to go through this process? And it says to make you relatable. I got to make you transparent.
Come on here.
When somebody come up to you and say, I'm homeless, I can say, I've been there, man.
Come on here.
When somebody say, I can't find a happy relationship, I know why. I can solve your problem. I'm the answer to your problem because I've been there.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, the most hurt I experienced was from church folks.
Wow.
Church people that are supposed to have my back.
Wow.
People that when they seen you up, they were there. When they see you down, there was nowhere around.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, it's funny because when I was going through my process, I had my friends that were in the world. They were there.
Wow.
I'm talking about, hey, man, hey, let me take you out to eat. Let me take you to the club. Come on, man. But my church friends, they were too busy. I ain't got no money for you. I can't give you a ride. I got ministry right now. I'm sorry. Man, then it got to a point where they're like, Stephen, you ain't got no money? You single. Now they really cool. They want to get my business. They're going against me because they like, you're single. You ain't got no money. These are my church folks.
Wow.
But the people in the world, it's like, man, I got you. Don't worry about it. I got you. Some of these people are not in the club because they backslid. They're in the club because the people in the world is like, I got you. I don't care what you did. I got you. Let me pick you up. It took my friend to say, Stephen, I know that you have dreams, but you have to go back to work. You have to find principles.
Wow.
I'm telling you, man.
Wow. Lord have mercy.
Ahead,
Real talk. Now, Lord have mercy.
You had to get out of there.
This some real, y'all, this real life conversations right here with Dr. Yo, Stephen, and Chico, and you know, this just real talk. We just real talk, cause listen, I'm getting ready to come your way. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's real talk because listen, people are hurting, people are going through things, right? They are hurting, they are going through things, whether they are in the world or whether they out of, in the church. How are we going to position ourselves to be able to handle what they're going through in a crisis? And a lot of people say, oh, that ain't my problem, that ain't my problem. But we forget, just like Stephen, he was homeless. Now, he was homeless, but I went through other stuff, and then Chico, we getting ready to go over here to Chico. Chico lost his mother. So let me ask you this, Chico, and he was married once. Real life conversation. Now, when you lost your mother, you was in church, you love the Lord, right? It's real talk. How did you feel emotionally? Did it not hurt you? Did it not bother you? Were you so, caught up, to be caught up, that you couldn't even face the reality that you lost your mother? Come on, talk to the people. This is real talk, real talk.
It hit me right away. I mean, as far as the, initial passing, but leading up to it, I had taken care of my mom for 2 years.
Yeah.
I stopped my 43-year-old life, quote unquote, to go take care of my mother. And I had a conversation with several family members, and they basically put it to me in face value. Look, this is what it is.
Wow.
And I took it and I ran with it. But anyway, it took a lot out of me. It took a lot out of me, and it took so much out of me that I'm still recovering, physically and mentally.
But you know the Lord, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you love Him.
Mm-hmm.
But you say you what?
What?
You still what? Recovering?
Recovering, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
With about 2 days ago, no, it was probably about 3 days ago. No, I had a, little breakdown.
You had
an emotional breakdown in
you
little
had a
while.
moment. I call a moment.
Yeah, same here.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
And just having heavy thought about her, going into some depth of detail on like the things that I used to do for her, how we used to sit and I used to clip her toenails. We would sit and watch TV together. Things that I had missed out on when I got married and kind of went away, and you become one with your family.
Yeah.
So I was just coming to visit, but I wasn't visiting and staying.
Yeah.
So that 2 years allowed me time to spend with her.
Wow.
Just her and I. Granted, there could have been other persons to help, but as I look at it now, it happened how it happened for a reason.
Wow.
It was for me to endure this process.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying?
It's all a part of the process.
Definitely. And I knew throughout that whole time, I knew that God was with me. Because there was no other individual that could say anything to me, or when I needed comfort, he comforted me. When I was going through those emotional feelings, he wouldn't allow me to stay like in a crying state. He would come right to me, calm me, say the things that you need to say to me, and I keep moving on.
Wow.
So I know who is with me.
Wow.
No one can tell me anything.
Wow.
Because I stay in enough quiet space with myself to know
who he is.
Exactly. I don't have a lot of extra going on in my life. I stay away from negativity, as much as I can.
Wow.
But it's always going to be brought to you, so I have to handle it face value sometimes.
Wow.
But outside of that, getting back to answering your question, it was our Heavenly Father. There's no other way that I could have gotten through this and can continue to get through this.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's real talk. Listen, if y'all, I thank y'all, this real talk. Listen, if you want to call in, the number here is 346-314-4119. Call in, ask questions, send your question. Listen, we welcome them because this is about real talk, real life conversation. I tell people all the time, and I know, Chico and Stephen can attest to this. People, the reason why I'm on the subject of hurting, because people are hurting. People are hurting because they may have lost loved ones. People are hurting because they may be going through abuse silently, but it's killing them. And they're going through shame and embarrassment, and they don't want to tell anybody, somebody. But they need to know that there are people out here who will love them. You understand me? And help them get through the process. I tell people, we got to love on people. We got to encourage people. We got to uplift each other. Are you hearing me? People are hurting whether they saved or not saved.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And if they're not saved and they hurting, again I state, we can't come with ikanda de bullshit. They don't understand that language. They're not there.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But what they will understand is that I'm here for you. What's going on with you? How can I help? Maybe you don't want to talk about it right now, or maybe you want to write it down, or listen, write it down. If that'll help, get it out, because sometimes people go through emotional things that it hurts so bad that they don't even want to talk about it, but it's therapeutic. I used to keep journals. What about y'all? I still keep them. Well, I would write things that would hurt, things that I was going through, things, all of that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You keep a journal of that. I got stacks and stacks, even, when I thought I was going to lose my mind, it's wrote in there, thank you, Father, for not letting me kill myself. You understand what I'm saying? How many people are going through stuff, they are masking? And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something else.
With that masking issue.
We better pull these masks off. Take your mask off. If you know you need help, somebody. Get the help, or if it's somebody that you trust that you can talk to in confidentiality. And listen, people, when people talk to us in confidentiality, that's what it is. They trust something in us. When you betray the confidentiality that somebody poured, whatever it is, they dirty laundry, they whatever it is that was bothering them. You understand what I'm saying? And we betray that trust, the person get even more hurt.
Yep.
Are you hearing me?
God holds you accountable.
Are you hearing me? So again, I say, it's two people we got to reach. We got to minister to our brothers and our sisters who are saved, who may go through a place in their life that they need strength. I don't care how deep you are and how much you know the word. There are sometimes
It gets hard. It gets rough.
you ain't going to be able to
yourself.
quote nothing.
Yeah,
And
no.
it's funny because they'll tell you to quote the word. When
It's
you
gonna
read
be
the
some
word,
times you ain't gonna be able to say nothing, but it
Right,
don't
right.
stop. Let me put a disclaimer here because I don't want people to, think that we don't know God.
Right.
Cause all three of us, we love the Lord.
we love the Lord.
You understand what I'm saying?
Just think
But we
differently.
talking about real life conversation,
Right.
conditions that happen. That's normal in your normal everyday life. How do you deal with it? What if it's somebody on your job? A matter of fact, somebody in your family who don't know God and they going through a crisis. How we going to help them? We going to love them. We going to talk to them. We going to encourage them. And then that opens up the door for you to tell them about why you got through it with the person that you serve, which is our Father. Anybody want to elaborate on that? Because, I get crunk.
No. Like she said, if you're going through something, you need somebody. You need somebody. Going through my process, I met people. I met these people in my process. I especially met Chico in my process. You need somebody in this process. Like, if it wasn't for my bishop coming to see about me, if it wasn't for Hingston coming to see about me, if it wasn't for my sister Tiffany, and definitely if it wasn't for my wife Brittany. Like, now, when I met her, she changed the game. Like, I was so busy, even being homeless, I was so busy doing stuff for other people. She said, Stephen, there's 24 hours in a day. I said, okay. She said, and she had to sit me down for this. She said, this is 24 hours, right? I said, yes, ma'am. She was like, okay, well, what do you do? I'm going to start listing everything I did. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do that.
Wow.
She said, so out of 24 hours, how much time do you have for you? And I stopped, and I looked at that sheet. And I said, out of 24 hours, I don't fit time in for me. And when you start doing stuff, it's crazy because what profit a man to gain the whole world but lose his soul? And that simply means what profits you to seek approval from everybody else but lose yourself in the process?
Wow.
You're doing everything for everybody else, but you're losing yourself. You don't know who you are.
Wow.
You're lonely. You want to get in a relationship, but your relationships are not thriving because you don't know who you are. You don't even spend time with yourself.
Identity crisis to me.
If you don't spend time with
Ladies
yourself,
and gentlemen.
who's going to spend time with you? It's crazy. Even in the pandemic, people don't like spending time with themselves. I got to get out. No. If you don't like spending time with yourself, why do you want somebody to spend time with you? You gotta know yourself. It's an ugly
Ladies
thing
and
because when you
gentlemen.
spend time with yourself, you start to find out stuff about yourself. I'm selfish. I'm lazy. I'm like, dang.
Come on here, brother.
Look,
Come on here.
I gotta be held accountable. I'm serious. I don't even talk about my last relationship like the person that's their fault. I had to look at myself. I had to look at myself and say, Stephen, what did you do? What are you doing?
High five, brother.
How can you influence somebody? And so once I started working on me, people just think I got married with Brittany. Oh, I just said, oh, let me get married. I studied for the whole year on what marriage meant. I kept calling her and saying, hey, I didn't know that me as a leader, I'm supposed to be like this. I'm supposed to be like that. I'm supposed to be held accountable. You can't out-clean me. I have to be the leader in my household. You cannot outdo me. I have to influence my wife. I can't make my wife cook. I have to influence her. What is it about me to say, oh, I want to cook for him today? I can't come home demanding her to cook. What did I do to influence her to do anything? God don't force us to do anything. He influenced us. He gave us free will. But he did give us something called influence.
Talk, sir.
Influence. What is it about your life that's influencing everybody else? You got preachers out here preaching the word, but what is it about your life? You selling a lifestyle, not the word.
It's all about
Let me get my bell. Come on.
People are attracted to celebrities because of their lifestyle.
Yep.
They look at their lifestyle and say they're free. What is it about Christians say they're free? We're begging for money. How are we free? We don't want to give. We want to be somebody's boss. How are we free? There's two principles. It's a give or take. And people are taking. We're taking. Man, I don't want to go too deep because y'all gonna delete me off of it. We are taking. We are the only people that take from our people to give out there. They take from us and give to their community. Let me put it like this. When I go to the gym, I pay a membership to the gym. The gym benefits me. I can go in there and work out. I can take a shower, and I can go. There are churches out there that you're paying your tithes to that don't benefit you. The pandemic showed you. Do you know in this pandemic, this was the time for the world to look at the church and say they're thriving. But when they took their money to the storehouse, and when the pandemic happened, everybody looking to the government. Do you know if a church if they would have took the money and did right with the money and had a system in place, they could have been like, hey, y'all, while y'all waiting on y'all government check, come in here. You've been a faithful tither. Let me go ahead and help you out.
Jesus.
That's heavy.
That's crazy. When you take your money to the bank, even though you put your money in the bank, you still have access to it. The bank has a system to make money off your money. But when you take your tithes to the storehouse, where is a system where the church can grow your money? So in a time of the pandemic, we can say, I can take care of you. I'm telling you, there are stories in the Bible that God was taking a little bit and making a lot. I'm telling you, there are stories that have principles that on the TV show, Dr. Yo, if you give me the time to explain that story, man, when I read that story and I put principles with it, I said, God gave us a remedy to build a community, and we're not taking it. He gave us a remedy with 5 loaves. We think that 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish is food. It symbolized something. Bread symbolized needful, cash. Fish symbolized ideas, creativity. When people were hungry, they didn't meet Jesus to eat. They met Jesus because they wanted to change their situation. Oh. Jesus and the disciples, if you study about the disciples, they were rich. These men, you had an accountant, you had a doctor, you had prophets, you had everybody with principle. When God said split them up in groups, this is 5,000 people. When you split them up in groups, that's about 416. That means 416 people came accountants, 416 people came doctors, 416 people came missionaries, and it was crazy because God gave the bread to the disciples. They were men of structure, so they gave it to them, and then they gave it to the people, and then when he broke the fish, they gave the people the instructions. So after they gave the people the instruction, gave them the fish, then he said, "Okay, man, go pick up the fragments. The fragments is 10% of what they gave them." So when the people was full and they already ate, that means not mean they was full that they ate food. They was full. That means everything that was addressed was met. And then the disciples made money off of 10%. Okay, I know he's like, what is he talking about? If you see an artist, he puts all his money into his craft and he sells it to the people for crumbs. He puts $80,000 into his craft, and then he sells it to the people for a crumb. So if you buy a song, it might be $1.99. If you buy the album, it might be $17. Those are crumbs compared to what he spent on his craft. But when he goes triple, double platinum, he becomes a millionaire. They are using principles that we ain't using in the church.
Well,
I'm done. That's real talk.
Ladies and
y'all better take me out.
Ladies and
Nah, nigga, you better put this thing on my mouth, man.
Ladies and
I'm telling you this because I'm living it.
gentlemen.
I'm living it.
Ladies
I'm
and
living it.
gentlemen.
I work for a
Get your
God that I
brother.
see principles. I'm living
Get
it.
your brother.
I'm living principles.
Get our brother.
I'm living
Ladies
principles.
and gentlemen.
I was broke. I was in my car. Now I got a family that's happy. I got finances.
Won't he do it?
I'm telling you, he said the only thing I wanted you to know, son, is management. God won't give you what you pray for. He give you what you can manage. And once you learn how to manage,
you gonna
he's
make me
give you
run
some more.
up in this radio station. Hallelujah. Now that's enough to say Shonda.
It is.
Right there.
Hallelujah.
Now, that's the working principle.
Because that's what it's about.
Ladies and go. You talks about management. I'm gonna get over here in my corner, so I'm gonna tell y'all my version of man. Y'all better manage y'all time with Jesus and get them instructions. Hello. Okay, go ahead, bro.
I mean, and you're totally right about it.
Go ahead, brother.
That's all
I'm
a
getting
part
this
of
call.
the management. It's about balance. You got to have some balance in your life. And that comes with everything that you're doing. You can't have too much TV. You can't have too much, entertainment from the outside. Socializing with your peers without having a balance of it. You did some reading with your father, some fellowshipping. Right now I know that's kind of hard. You're working out. Your eating regimen, spending time with family. Everything has to be a balance where you're getting things accomplished. And if you don't manage it, coming back to that word manage, that's time management. So coming back to the 24 hours in a day, you just manage your time. You're going to work 8 hours. You get off.
Wow.
You have time after that to manage and do other things.
Wow.
I know a lot of you all come home to family, but like Steph was saying, if you have a husband, if you have a wife, and if you all are not working and according together, something is wrong there.
Well,
honestly, because you become one.
Well, some of y'all with the pandemic, some of y'all probably ready to throw y'all spouses out or something like that. But in the pandemic over at those Sherman's house, boy, me and Honey, we just as happy. We just greasy happy over there. You understand what I'm saying? Because like he say, you got to have some balance. And let me tell y'all something else. Let me add something else. To relationships and marriages or just relationship period. We just gonna say relationship. Whether it's your children, whether it's your spouse, some people have a dog that's like their child, your relationship with walking your dog or whatever it is. All right? You want to spend some quality time with the Father, right? That sets the temperature for the rest of your day. Okay? You got to spend some good quality time with the Father. And then, let me help you on another thing. When you're married or in a relationship, you got to spend some quality time so that y'all can get to know who each other is.
That's it.
Not just passing by, hello, we work, we pay the bills together, we got churns together. Hello, ladies and you ain't said my words yet. Come on with my word, come on with my word. Because I can't say it like you said, brother. What's my word?
Well, look here, ladies and gentlemen.
See, that's it right there, boy. Chico and then ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
going to need you all to...
What you gonna need?
Get some management in your life. I'm gonna need you to get some discipline in your life.
There you go.
There you go. Consistency. I'm gonna always come back to that because everything that we got going on, it comes to those two things: discipline and consistency. I mean, like for real. For us to be here today.
Yeah.
This is discipline. This is consistency.
Yep.
We were in traffic.
Yep.
We could have both been like, okay, we're gonna go back to the house and let Dr. Yo handle it.
She got it.
No. That's not what we got going on. This is a bond. This is something that
Come
we
on
put
here.
our word on
Yep.
that we're going to do.
Together.
You understand? Together.
You do it better together
than by yourself. There's no I in team.
That's what's up.
And look, ladies, I'm telling you, if you want your man to act right,
Oh, there you go.
Hold him to his word. I'm telling you, man, when I was reading how God, he holds himself to his word. His word, it's crazy because whenever he gives his word, he's a prisoner to his word. When he gives his word, that's it. He don't go against it.
lie, yeah.
So if
Wow.
you wanna hold your, my wife is so smart. She asked me, "What time are you coming home?" She's not asking me that to try to control me. Because if I give my word, I gotta hold myself to my word.
Oh, wow,
Stephanie,
that's good.
Are you gonna fix this? Yes, babe, I'm gonna fix it. When? Oh, I'm gonna do it Friday. When Friday come around,
She looking
Stephanie,
forward.
You said. Now, if I have a choice, if I go against it, then everything in my household starts to flop. Because now I'm not
That's
a man of my
good.
word.
That's good.
Your word is everything. And I started learning that because I started learning character. Character
Wow.
is something that you have to study. Character.
Yes, sir.
Most people don't master characters.
Nope.
People in CEO positions, people in business, people that are preaching, people that are working. Your character is everything. Your character, your talent will get you there, but your character will keep you there.
Yep.
Now, see that right there, that's a mouthful right there. Now, on that note, quit being mean.
Being mean.
Don't let that be a part of your character, right? I'm included in that. Be nice
That's
to
a
people.
choice.
People think mean is professional. Mean is
Nah,
not
man,
professional.
you ain't got to. Let me tell you something. My mama,
bad
you know them
heart.
old folks saying you can get more fries with a little honey. Baby, put a little honey on there, be nice, people. Like my supervisor, you know, he made me come out of retirement and training people. I trained people in years, but because he was so nice, I couldn't say no. You understand what I'm saying? I said, you made me break my own rules. You understand what I'm saying? But his character and his niceness and how he treat everybody makes you want to say, you know what? All right, Alex, you got me. That goes back to what?
Somebody saying something.
What would say? Because I ain't got my glasses on.
Nah, I can't see it either.
She said my character would have been changed today because of how everybody was acting at work, but I did not entertain that. See,
There we go.
that comes with a sign of maturity.
That's it. That is it
You
right
understand? Because you didn't give them what you thought that they might deserve. But when you grow up, you be like, no, it ain't worth it, because you have to look at something else in character, right? If you are influencing people, right, and they're watching you and how you respond and how you act and how you treat people, if you mean, then the people that's following you and you the leader, they gonna act the same way you act. But if you are a person like I said, I love that's my boy, my boss. And I respect him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's good people. He's fair. He's nice. Everybody level. He know our personalities. He know how to do good management, because he said he want a team. He know he can't do it by himself. He know that everybody is valuable
In
to
their
the
own way.
equation of the finished product, which is taking care of them patients and giving good quality care. Now, when you are a leader and people are following you, if you don't put out that good character, the people that's following you going to put out that, and it's going to be a ripple effect going on down. You understand? So you're not going to have quality work because of what you are presenting, and then the people that are under you are picking up those same characters. So we have to be, listen, everybody leads somebody. I don't care if it's your dog or what. Everybody, right? You got people you lead, right? You got people you lead.
Yes.
Come on, if y'all, okay, on the spiritual side, right? If y'all speaking into people's life, or we speaking into people's life, even on the spiritual side, we leading somebody, right? So we got to lead them with some good character. You understand what I'm saying? If you are somebody's boss in a secular arena, because we dealing with both sides, right? If you are in the secular arena, let me tell you something. Your employees will go over and beyond to make you look good if you know how to treat them. Hello. If you one of them old crazy, talking, mean-spirited bosses,
And they're gonna go to back.
they gonna do just enough in your face
That's it.
to get by so you don't fire them. Hello. And that's when the people gonna be calling you, talking about your employee was rude.
And I'm gonna tell y'all
Now, hello,
I'm
Shonda.
talking to church folks, especially in ministry.
Oh, wow.
In ministry, you'll have people that's in leadership
Wow.
that are mean. and they're leading people that are CEOs, that are supervisors,
Wow.
and that you're in ministry. You're not getting paid. Some people ain't get paid to be led by this person. But if this person has an attitude, yeah, they're going to run them off. Because he's like, wait a minute, I manage about 1,000 employees and I don't treat them like that. But this person in leadership treats me like that. You
Wow.
got to check your character. And the thing about your character is you're going to mess up. But you can't be afraid to say, I'm sorry. You can't be
Wow.
afraid to say, hey, if I front you out in public, I need to apologize to you in public. I don't need to come to you in private. If I yell at you in public and disrespect you, I need to apologize in public to say, man, I'm sorry. If I disrespect you in private, I'm going to have to apologize and say, man, I'm sorry for disrespecting you.
Wow.
That's a part of your character. I'm telling you, when you go through something or when you do something wrong, you can't be afraid to say, I'm sorry.
Yes. Well, listen, our time has flied by. Listen, y'all tune in, real life conversations, we doing it. Listen, if you have questions, you have things that you want to call in, you want to, email us, you can do all of that. Hey, this is real life conversation. We're going to keep it real and 100.
And we talk
All
about
right.
relationships next time, I promise.
Relationships. Until next time. All right. Woo. All right. Gotta go.
No, when you're wrong.
Say hey. Hey.
Hey, y'all.
We go.